Trouble now. Here comes that three-headed monster in Brooklyn.
They gave up 145 points to the worst offensive team in basketball?
KD 38, Kyrie 37, James Harden triple-double. Here we go.
Hey, guess where they carried to last night, Skip? You know, inauguration, I give a 2 for 1.
We'll talk about that in a little while.
We will talk about Kyrie's return. We'll talk about the new Brooklyn Big Three. Don't worry, guys. But I want to begin by discussing Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, because remember, these two have already met this season. It was pretty one-sided. The Packers not only lost big to the Buccaneers in Week 6, 38-10, but they also had a difficult time protecting Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers was blitzed on a whopping 50% of pass plays through the first 3 quarters of the loss and was pressured on a season-high 30.8% of all pass plays in the game. It was Rodgers' only multi-interception game this season, and his completion percentage of 45 was his lowest this season. So, Shannon, will the Packers be able to fix this?
Yeah, I believe they will. I mean, anytime you lose a ball game and you play that opponent again, you look at all the things and where they trapped you at, Skip. They ran a lot of, they blitzed him a lot, but they did a lot of blitzing with their interior linebackers, and they dropped Shaq Barrett, they dropped JPP in pass coverage, and I think that kind of caught the Packers off guard. I think they go into this game with their antenna up, knowing that they're going to get a lot of blitz. That's what the Bucs do. But now I think they have a better understanding of where those blitzes are going to come from, and Rodgers will do a better job of protecting the football. Skip, I think the game just got out of hand, and we saw that last week. The Saints were in control of this ball game until one fateful turnover, and it snowballed from there, and they were never able to gain the momentum. The Packers were in complete control of this ball game. It took a pick-6, and then now you all of a sudden, Ted goes from 10-0 to 10-7, and then another pick, almost 6, then all of a sudden it's 14-0, and the Packers were never able to regain control of the ball game, Skip. And also, the Tampa did a great job of making these guys one-dimensional. So now you're one-dimensional. Now they start playing the run game on the way to your quarterback. They got after Aaron Rodgers really good. As Jenny mentioned in the read, this was his only multi-interception game. I don't see them coaxing him into more turnovers in this ball game. And it's hard for me to see a scenario in which Tyler Heineke can go get 23 points against this defense. Drew Brees is injured and as battered as he was, can get 20 points, and somehow Aaron Rodgers is going to get less than that. I just don't see it happen. Give Tampa credit. They did a great job of getting after Rodgers, did a great job of disguising where they were bringing the pressure from, and they got home on occasion. But I don't see that being the case in this situation around.
All I know is the harder I look at what happened on October the 18th, albeit at Tampa in 88-degree weather, cloudy 88 degrees, the harder I look at it, the worse it gets. You can make a case that Aaron Rodgers has never been more befuddled in his career than he was in that game.
Sure.
He had a, by far, season-low QBR of 12. That's on a scale 0 to 100. His next worst QBR for the whole season was a 46 at home against Jacksonville in a game they obviously didn't take very seriously, and they almost got into home trouble against one of the worst teams. Obviously, they got the top pick in the draft, so it became the worst team in pro football.
Right.
But the point is, this is the runaway MVP, and he had one nightmare, and it just happened to be at Tampa Bay. And the harder I look at it, the worse it gets from a strategic point of view, because they did a number on him. And the number was so bad that, to me, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers just fold the way he did after the 2 near pick-6s. One was a pick-6. The next one went to the 2-yard line.
Correct.
Both of those pick-6s, if we could see them, came against blitzes. So, again, a season-high 30.8% of his pass attempts were under pressure. That one he threw a little quick, and Jamel Dean just snatched
They brought secondary blitz on that situation.
That was a corner blitz.
Yes.
I think the other one, I haven't looked hard at this tape, the second one. No, it's not a corner blitz. The first one was definitely a corner blitz.
They brought Murphy Bunting, or Burning Murphy, I think that's his name. They brought one of those guys.
Murphy Bunting.
Yeah.
And the point is, that's a Mike Edwards, and he takes it down.
It looked like they brought, that might have been Levante David, or that might have been another corner on the other side.
I couldn't really tell.
Yeah.
But the point is that this is Aaron Rodgers, Aaron bleeping Rodgers, who through his career has been the best quarterback in football versus the blitz.
Yes.
He eats it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. No matter home road, he's always had his way with blitzes. He is delighted. If you want to send extra, he will put extra points up on the scoreboard.
Even when you factor that game in, Skip, he was still one of the top 3 quarterbacks against the blitz, even when you factor that game into it. So clearly, you believe that's a trend. I believe it's an anomaly.
Okay. He's also been devastating against zone defense. And basically, Todd Bowles, for most of that game, played either cover 2 or cover 3.
Yeah.
Cover 3, you got 4 men under. Cover 2, you can have 5 men under.
Right.
So it was pretty simple what they were doing on the back end, because this is just me. I've had a lot of fear and trepidation about how vulnerable and torchable they are on the back end.
Right.
But on this given day, after the first 2 drives that went Aaron down the field for a field goal and then Aaron down the field all the way home, giving it a little McCringleberry in the end zone when he thought he had scored. He thought he'd scored, but he was actually ruled down at the half-yard line, and Aaron Jones then took it over for the touchdown to make it, to your point, 10-0. But then here we go again. Tampa Bay gets the ball back. Tom goes, that was 3 and out the first time, 7 and out the second time. And then they get the ball back, and it becomes 3rd and 10 at their 22. And he, against a corner blitz, he throws it quick to Devontae on one side, and you know the rest of the story. From that point forward, I'm going to use my line one more time. I watched Aaron Rodgers fold like a lawn chair at a Tampa retirement community.
Okay.
Because he just unraveled psychologically. He lost his nerve. I know you always say Brady under fire. If he gets under pressure, he just loses his nerve and his way in the pocket. Listen, Aaron Rodgers went in the tank.
Can I ask you a question?
In this game.
What was the difference between what Aaron Rodgers did on that Sunday afternoon in 88-degree weather as opposed to what Tom Brady did that Sunday night against the New Orleans Saints? I just want to know the difference.
No difference. Except at least Tom was trying in the second half, and Aaron looked completely hapless and hopeless.
Skip, you told me he gave up. You say the 3rd interception that he threw across his body, he gave up. So how was he still trying if he gave up?
He was just still dinking and dunking. He was trying. Listen, do you realize in Aaron's last 10 possessions of that game, think about this, 10 more times he had the football.
Right.
And I'm starting with the pick-6, the near pick-6.
Right.
7 of them were punts, and at the end of the half, Sue sacked him, and they just gave up and kneeled out the clock.
Right.
Okay, so the last 8 times you have the football after the 2 near pick-6s, you have 7 punts. You went nowhere. So your numbers for the game end up 16 of 35. That's 46%.
Okay.
This is Aaron bleeping Rodgers, who led the league in passing percentage, right?
Yes.
71%. He completed 46% against this defense for a grand total of 160 yards, and that includes those first 2 really nice drives that look like Aaron Rodgers.
But Skip, I get that he played bad, but if you look at what Tom Brady did the second time against New Orleans and what he did, so what did they do?
Okay.
They shored it up. And here's the thing: if you're going to play cover 2, I used to tell TD this all the time, Terrell Davis. If a team is playing us cover 2, which means, like you said, they got eyes in the backfield. They don't want to give up anything deep. They don't want to give anything cheap. That's like, TD, run their ass out of cover 2. Well, if you're going to play cover 2, I'm going to force you to drop that safety down, and you're going to have to go single high safety.
Who was #1 in the National Football League against the run the whole year from start to finish?
Tampa.
And it wasn't even close. Listen, between Sue and the other run stuffers they have, and listen, JPP and Shaquille Barrett can hold the edge.
They set the edges.
They set, man. It's hard to run on them. And then those 2 backers aren't just good.
They thump. Yeah, they fast. They flow.
The best duo in football, and so they can mix and match. They can drop into coverage. They can blitz you. They can come after you. Or if you try to run it on them, good luck.
But you're going to have to, Skip. You just can't let them guys play the run on the way to your quarterback because that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for a repeat of the game 1. If you let them do that. So even if you're not getting 5, 6, 7 yards a clip running the football, you need to run it enough to make Todd Bowles know, to make those guys sit in there. I believe the Green Bay Packer line, now, yes, Bakhtiari would definitely help, but I believe this offensive line as a whole has gotten better than what they were when they played Tampa on that Sunday afternoon. I believe they're better. I think you believe they're better. They can run the football better also, Skip.
I got it, but I noticed yesterday Pro Football Focus had Bakhtiari ranked as the best. He became the best pass blocker in all of pro football.
I wouldn't disagree.
Okay. All right. He's gone.
Yes.
He was there on October 18th in 88-degree weather, and it didn't help a bit because he seemed as lost as anybody else. They have a very good offensive line. Cleveland's was ranked slightly better, but theirs is very good.
Yes.
But once you take the left tackle out of the equation, I can't see how you can make a case that it's better now without Bakhtiari because it's just not. So did Tampa get any worse? They're getting Vita Vea back, who's another giant run stuffer in the middle, and I don't know if he can go.
Skip, he was still one of the top 3 quarterbacks against the blitz, even when you factor that game into it. So clearly, you believe that's a trend. I believe it's an anomaly.
Okay. He's also been devastating against